Yeah, so we're just recording here. We're just like, a couple of setups have come up here today. It's beautiful, really, really nice conditions. Oil's just worked out beautifully. A lot of that absorption of selling on Friday from the buy side is just completely now being handed a massive sick bag. Context is held the higher time frame condition from the year and the quarter is held. It's beautiful. So, the spreads, front month spread short is just paying out here. Life is good on the markets. I like the euro holding on ETH up, but why I'm recording this, what I wanted to get across is that, one of the guys in the room here bought this Q+1 area on NASDAQ, which we were looking at in the look ahead and in the prep. We were looking at this area to come in as support. What was resistance for on numerous occasions last week in the NASDAQ, the Q+1, you know, here. We then gapped up over it on the electronic open. So when we're trading all here in the prep, in the pre, comes down, tests, and then a nice little bit back up. Now you might say, "Hey Tim, you're not going to set the world on fire with a trade like that," but let me get something like clear about what we do here. Is like and I got to turn down something here, but what we're training to do is to trade literally like one or two trades. You know, one or two trades are our edge, and we just need to have the discipline and the calmness of our mind to wait for the market to set those trades up. And then if you size that properly on a consistent basis, um, and on a conviction basis for each time these trades set up, then you can make money and you can enjoy your trading. But what a lot of people do is they say, well, I'm going to trade this execution edge and this execution edge and this execution edge, oil new lows. And you end up with a trader who's got like so many different things in his head about what he's willing to trade and how he's willing to trade. And when the shit hits the fan, he's looking at several markets at the same time and he's scanning for maybe 4 or 5 different setups across like maybe, well, let's just say 2 markets. Well, you're gonna run your brain ragged trying to be consistent when you're trying to do something like that. For me, I trade like maybe 3 core different setups, and the whole time I'm looking at like 7 to 8 different markets, 7 really now, and I'm just waiting for the market to set up that trade in the way I want to trade it, and then I have probably 2 or 3 different conviction levels of how much size I want to do on that trade. But the core thing is that I just know what I'm waiting to see and what I'm waiting for it to happen, and then I just simply need to trade it. But a lot of traders get, confused and they enter into a world of dissonance when they have too many things they're looking at and there's too many different setups they're looking at and too many different confirmation signals they're looking for when they just won't really keep it simple. And so I just wanted to get on here and record. Like, I mean, this is like a really great example where, one of the guys was looking for this long. This is the trade we planned, long this test and then back up, right? And now you're kind of thinking, well, that's like a tiny trade, Tim, right? It's a tiny trade. Well, in the daytime frame, um, it's not really. It's that like on 38 ticks of risk or whatever you want to do, 40 ticks, fine. That's a 6 to 1. All right, that's a 6 to 1. You think that's a small trade? All right, fine. Well, the edge we trade also provides for way bigger trades than. But like for a little snack, while things are kind of shaking around a bit on equities, they're not really doing anything. Like that is a planned trade, 6 to 1 to where the candle closed and this session closed. That's that's a nice setup. That's how many contracts have I turned this system onto? Yeah, just once. That's like $1,100 per single contract traded. One contract, 38 ticks, 39 ticks of risk. It's the one. the potential on that trade is like this and this, right? You're talking 32 to 1, 6.5 grand per single contract traded. All right. That's the potential on that contract if you want, or that trade, if you want to let it run, let some of these contracts run. But just 6 to 1, a nice setup. Done, you know? And it just, I'm really what, gave me reason to record is that I was in danger of saying, it's that easy. You just wait for what you want to see with the right tools, and then and when you see it, you just trade it. All right. And I was about to say, it's that easy. If you can have the right calmness of mind and discipline to just wait for that, and it might not come all the time, but if you can have the discipline and the calmness of mind, do that and wait for that, your trading will be a lot more enjoyable, a lot more comfortable, and you are going to make a lot more money. But the problem is, no matter how much you technically know and how much you try, you only see the gains when you do it. Trying, no cigar. Doing it, you'll get a cigar. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Um, the thing is, though, technically, these things can be super easy, but psychologically, you're facing one of the hardest tasks in the world. Is you have to reconfigure your attitude towards risk. You have to reconfigure your gambling mentality. You have to reconfigure your DNA coded want to just have a position on and skin in the game. You have to reconfigure that. You have to just be like, that is toxic. Giving into that, like, want to be in a position, want to be in the market. Oh, I think this is happening. I think it's almost setting up, so I'm just going to get in there. That sort of thinking is going to put you 6 foot under. It's going to blow your accounts. You are never going to be successful if you cannot put set of reins on that, And so I just had a lot to talk about that because, here was a nice little setup. As you can see, it's kind of starting to print a wee bit of green here. Fine, whatever, I mean, it's like one of many setups we look at every single day, right? So we just wanted to put this out because really, I don't think a lot of people hear that the technical part is super easy and the psychological part is probably the hardest thing you will ever do in your entire life. And I'm not messing. I am not messing. And I have done some really horribly horrible, difficult things in my life. I haven't done a lot of horrible things in my life. I've done a lot of horribly difficult things in my life. And so, and this is one of them. And this is why psychology will just always be there waiting to screw you up. Put a handle on it. You know? I just thought I'd talk about that, you know, because I don't see anyone out there talking about this. To be honest, trading, I really don't. I see a lot of people talking about their P&L, talking about YOLO and this, that Bitcoin's going here, oil's going there, dollars going here, gold is going to do this, do that, and blah blah blah. Who the fuck cares? Bitcoin's going 100, it's going to 200, it's going to 1 million. I don't fucking care. I want to care about what I can do myself inside of my head at this desk today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day to make money. I don't read other people's, charts with we're going here, there, and everywhere. I don't read that stuff. Why would I? What does it mean to me? Nothing. 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 All right. What should it mean to you? Nothing. Nothing. You should, well, I don't want to tell people what to do. I just want to see people improving any way possible and sidestepping the noise and the crap. And the noise and the crap is, you know, people not talking about their edge, not sharing their edge. They're just sharing charts about, well, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Really? Well, make me feel that in my bones, and then I might trade it, and so, I might be down talking the VWAP report, I might be down talking what I do in the look ahead every day, but really what I'm doing with that is saying, like, if a market moves in this pattern to here, I will trade it long or short. The charts I share are not what I think is going to happen. It's what I want the market to paint for me to then trade it. If that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I don't trade it. Maybe I will take a different trade because it'll set up one of my core setups in a different way. But a lot of people, I don't want people to look at the charts that I'm sharing thinking, oh, well, Tim thinks oil's going to do this and do that. You should be looking at those charts going, just knowing what I'm going to be doing if this layout happens. All right. And sometimes the markets do play out to the T, to the tick, the way I'm looking for them to play out. And that is how then I take trades, and that's why I take trades, and that's how I make money. And the benefit of doing this report and sharing this report, I've been doing it for a little while and then sharing it, is that other people can see, all right, this is why Tim thought we would sell down to this point and then there'd be nice longs come in because his edge is dictating that here is cheap or here is expensive or here's a messy area. So he's looking for expansion out of that area to cheap or expensive on this timeline of a quarter, a month, or a year, or a day. And then Tim sees that as cheap to buy or cheap and it's going to get cheaper. So he's going to sell there, this sort of stuff. So I don't know. I think I've gotten whatever I wanted to off my chest there. I really just want people to sidestep just the psychological abuse that the markets will dish out in second helpings on an hourly basis. So, look, stay safe out there, and I'm sure I'll record another one of these and put it up um soon. But yeah, like let's hear it for the Nazi, and could go quite nicely there. Anyway, we talked about this in the Discord before going live. I'm not sure if I fully talked about this in the recording that I put out pre-market, but anyway, nice markets. Um, Nice markets coming in here. Equities, yeah, Russell on new all-time highs. Nasdaq finding buyers there. Nvidia still negative 2.8 on the session, but we'll buy that dip. And yeah, a lot more downside to come on oil. All right, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the session. Adios.